This is a little game called Florence. It's a really pretty, well-crafted, narrative-driven game about a 25-year-old girl named Florence, and it's made by Mountains Studio. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the nuance and the mechanics in the game, but first of all, why? Let's backtrack a little bit. So why am I talking about Florence? Well, you may have seen 2 weeks ago that I put up a video of Tim Schafer's jokes from the GDCA. What's the GDCA? The Game Developers Choice Awards and its little brother, the Independent Games Festival, or IGF Awards, are two award shows that are hosted during GDC. During the GDCA, Florence was nominated for these awards, and took out these ones. I hadn't heard of it before, but its pedigree piqued my interest, so I bought it and gave it a shot. Since then, it has also gone on to win the Bafta Award for Best Mobile Game of the Year. It's a gorgeous game, and really well-crafted experience, with some fantastic music. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the nuance in some of the mechanics. The game consists of going through these chapters of these elegantly constructed panels following the story of Florence as she navigates her first relationship. Every now and then, you stop to interact with one of these panels in some form. It might be brushing your teeth, or sharing or liking things on social media. The story then continues on. But every now and then, you have just a little bit of extra depth that is expressed through the mechanics. The bulk of it, and where I want to put a fair amount of focus in this video, is in the conversation system, if you can call it that. The parts where Florence converses with supporting character Krish are these puzzles where the player needs to construct a speech bubble out of these puzzle pieces. You find all the places for the puzzle pieces, which make up the speech bubble, it jumps into the panel, and you continue on. A little while ago, I made a video about how the constraints you are dealing with can inform your mechanics, and we had a look at Kingsway. I thought it was really good, but not that many people watched it. But we have the same thing occurring here. The conversation puzzle mechanics reflect what's happening in the narrative, where we help Florence piece together something to say. But where the nuance comes in is in two places. The first is in this chapter called First Date. Florence is nervous, and she's just getting to know Krish. You can tell because if we scroll down here, the parallax shows her cute little face, peeking out from behind the menu, blushing. Early on in the date, the conversation takes quite a few puzzle pieces to fit together. She is nervous and having trouble finding the right things to say. But as the dates go on, it takes less pieces. It's getting a bit easier. She's a little bit more comfortable and knows what to say. Until the final part of the chapter, where she knows exactly what to say. One bubble, and then the two kiss for the first time. It's this extra level of information that we can infer from the mechanics that make this a little bit special. It's there for us to interpret how we like, it's not shoved down our faces. Mountains managed to avoid a standard dialogue system, and in doing so, I think they made something that has a lot more emotion to it, that has less moving parts. Let's for a moment imagine we had a proper conversation system. I'll whip something up in Photoshop. By having the words here, I think the emphasis gets taken away from the feeling and the emotion of the moment, and we start to think about what is the correct thing to say. You aren't thinking about what the words mean so much as which ones are the best or which ones are correct. A similar idea is used in another place in the game, where the main characters get into an argument. The puzzle pieces start off fairly standard. But as tension is introduced, the puzzle pieces get a bit more squared. The two characters are being a bit more blunt with each other. This soon turns to sharp puzzle pieces, reflecting the harsh change in the tone and the words being used as the two start to get angry at each other. In a similar way to before, by using this restricted conversation system, we are potentially getting more information about what the characters are feeling than we would normally be getting were we to be using a traditional setup with dialogue choices. It's really unique, and I liked it a lot. Like, imagine if this section here was just a choice about what mean thing to say to each other. It just wouldn't be the same. And this idea of using the mechanics to inform the player that little extra bit is used in other places in the game too. Let's go through one more really quickly. Here, in the chapter called Dreams, we see Krish telling Florence about how he wants to be a musician. And we as a player get to reveal this dream for Florence. It might be reading into it a little bit much, but our actions get to reveal this to the character. Later on in the game, Florence has a similar moment of her own, where previously we got to reveal Krish's dreams to her, we now get to reveal her own dreams to her. She is rediscovering something about herself, and the mechanics are helping us to understand what's happening in this moment. We are uncovering this dream by wiping away the current reflection of Florence to reveal the more excited Florence. The Florence where she wanted to be an artist originally. There is tons more design like this in the game, but it wouldn't really be doing a service to just go through all of it, because it would ruin the emotional feeling of the game should you want to pick it up. I should point you across to this article that has a more in-depth look at some of the mechanics and some quotes from Ken Wong, the lead designer, explaining the design process. It's a really good read. Link below. Nice quick one this week. You can get Florence on the App Store and on the Google Play Store. Do the subscribe bell things, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.